Interest rates have been held at record lows, below 1%, whilst they were at double figures for almost 3 years in the early 1990s. But more than anywhere else, we can see the impact of our choices in the state of the jobs market here. Unemployment has been rising in this country as it has been around the world. Last week's figures, however, showed that the UK unemployment had fallen and is lower than in the euro area and lower than it is in the United States. Even after the severity of this recession, the claimant count stands today at 1.6 million people. This compares with 3 million people in the recessions of the early 1980s and 1990s. Nor, Mr. Deputy Speaker, because of a decade of welfare reform, has there been the massive increase in the numbers of inactivity benefits that we saw in the 80s and the 1990s. And I can tell the House, Mr. Deputy Speaker, the claimant count today is still lower than the number we inherited in 1997. That has not happened by chance. It has happened because of the choices that we made. It is because of the tremendous efforts by business and workforces to keep people in jobs. It's also because, as the global storm hit our country, we responded with an additional £5 billion to help people find new work quicker. We expanded the Job Centre Plus network and offered support through the Rapid Response Service at firms hit by redundancies. Mr. Deputy Speaker, it is clear that our approach is making a difference. Nearly 4 million people have been helped off the claimant count in the last year alone. With personalised support, around 3/4 of those losing a job are leaving the claimant count within 6 months. Indeed, if this recession had followed the course of the last one, 4 times as many jobs would have disappeared. The flexibility of the tax credit system has also provided automatic support, compensating families for loss of income due to shorter working hours and part-time working. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I can tell the House this year 440,000 families have benefited from this extra help, on average by £38 more per week when they need it most. Despite all this support, there are groups that are likely to need more help even as the economy recovers. For older workers, I want to extend the support provided by tax credits. To make it easier for those over 60 to receive working tax credit, we will reduce the minimum number of hours they need to work to be eligible. And to enable people who want to work longer, we are now consulting on reform of employers' right to make people retire at 65. We're looking at options which include scrapping the default retirement age, raising it or giving employees stronger rights. For younger workers, I've introduced a guarantee of a job or training for every 18 to 24-year-old after 6 months out of work, which is already proving a success. This was to run until March next year. But with recovery still in its infancy, we should not withdraw this support too soon. And because unemployment has been lower than forecast, the cost has been lower than expected. I've therefore decided to use the money saved to extend the guaranteed offer to young people until March 2012. So for the next 2 years, I can guarantee that no one under 24 will need to be unemployed for longer than 6 months before being offered work or training. Help with jobs now, and as I will outline later, help with jobs for the future. Mr. Deputy Speaker, low mortgage rates have reduced costs for homeowners, but many families still face fears over repossession. The support for mortgage interest scheme, which I enhanced during the recession, is already helping 220,000 homeowners who lost their jobs. To maintain this help during the recovery, I will continue to pay this support at the higher rate for another 6 months. I'm also determined to do more to help families take that first crucial step on the housing ladder. We have introduced new help through shared equity schemes, and in 2008 we also brought in a stamp duty holiday on all transactions under £175,000, which ended in December. By helping 260,000 home buyers, it supported the entire housing market when it needed it most. The housing market is now stabilised and has begun a slow recovery. But many first-time buyers, particularly those without large deposits, still find it hard to get a mortgage, and I want to help them, but to do so in a way that is properly funded. I can announce that I will double the stamp duty limit for first-time buyers from midnight tonight, from 125,000 to 250,000 for this year and next. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this means that 9 in 10 first-time buyers will pay no stamp duty at all. But to ensure this measure does not become a burden on the public finances, this relief will be funded through an increase in the stamp duty to 5% for residential property over £1 million from
You can't see it on the screen, but Labour MPs are waving their order papers in the air and they are pointing at the Conservatives, who are sitting silent.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, tax-free ISAs have been an extraordinary